What's up, everybody, and welcome on into our very first episode of We Are Queens Boulevard. I'm representing here as Patrick Ewing gets a little love in the first couple of episodes, but along with myself, I got my partner in crime in a lot of these things here. Timmy T, what's going on, my friend?
Oh yeah, I'm pumped, man. I'm pumped. I'm representing my Woodside Queens right here.
Yeah.
And yeah, I'm very excited. I'm very, very, very. We've been talking about this for like 2 years, I think. A year at least, minimum.
Something is always coming up. Something's going on, but we're here now. We're going to talk a lot about the show. We'll get in. We'll do our rewatch. We'll get in even into the movie. So this is a long haul type of thing here.
Mm-hmm.
But first, before we get into anything, if you are easily offended by anything that went on in the mid to late 2000s, this is not the show for you.
No.
There are references to sexual things. There's a lot of Jewish jokes. There's a lot of
oogling of
female,
the women.
yeah, all that stuff. But remember, this happened during a time where this was all okay. Not saying that
the good old days.
It's okay now.
The good old days.
I'll
say it. I don't care. I'll say it.
But we're gonna use language on this show. Just be warned. We're gonna use the same type of language that they used on the show because you can't get your point across on some of these things without using the language.
Exactly.
But
even my notes have the curses in the notes, just so I could,
Listen, we're very professional about this. We've got notes.
We gotta keep it real. We gotta keep it real. We gotta represent Queens, baby. Gotta keep it real.
I'm from Brooklyn, but I join you in this. We'll represent New York here. But so the gist of it is that this is the perfect platform for this type of a show because it truly was everything pop culture related. It was movies, sports, women, men, stories, different stories that were coming of age, I guess, during that time of weirdness. Ari Gold is a guy who would be fired in 20 seconds these days. But somehow, he makes it through. I don't want to say bad jokes. A lot of great, funny jokes that, can't be said today, but we're going to go through them. But I want to, Timmy, you want to go through just the top 5 guys? I'm not talking about a ranking, but just introduce the characters here.
Absolutely.
So first, is Vinny. So he's
Chase.
Vinny Chase. He's the movie star. He's Wahlberg. So what? Yeah. So give the fans a little intro on Vinny Chase.
Yeah, like I said, Vinny is. The show is based on some of Mark Wahlberg's experiences, and when he first got to Hollywood, he brought his little entourage of friends with him, a bunch of weirdos. Have you ever seen them actually on Wahlburgers or even on the show? They pop up every now and then in this show too. They are a bunch of weirdos, and there's an E, there's a drama. There is an Ari Gold out there somewhere. So all this stuff is based maybe loosely, on real people. And Vinny Chase is the movie star, the younger brother who got out to Hollywood and hit it big. He's just starting to hit it big when the show starts. Mm-hmm. And he brought with him his brother Johnny, who was AKA Drama, who's definitely one of the most interesting characters we're going to talk about. Because I don't know about you, Steve, but for me, Drama is... I love him one episode. I might hate him the next.
Yeah.
Love him, hate him. It just goes like that with Drama, unfortunately.
I'm with you on that.
Yeah. Next up, we have Eric Murphy, the manager, who I know you're not a big fan of that character. I have no problem with E. They call him E. He is Vinny's best friend since fourth grade, I want to say.
Yeah, somewhere around
there. Vinny ended up bringing him out last, but he came over to manage to be his manager. He's kind of the brains behind the operation. It's pretty fun. And last but certainly not least is Turtle. And guess what? I'm not going to tell you his real name because we don't learn Turtle's name until season 5. We don't know Turtle's, and we don't learn his last name until the movie. So from right now, he's
Wild.
Turtle, and he will only be Turtle until season 5 when he finally reveals his name to a certain mafia princess actress that he begins to date. Season 5. Those are your 4 main guys of the group of friends who came from Queens, who came from New York together. And I guess the 5th final guy, like you said, is Ari Gold, the manager extraordinaire to Vincent Chase. And this is definitely one of, I don't care what anybody says, this is one of the greatest characters ever written, ever on TV, ever on cable, whatever you want to call it. He's another guy who you should not like. You should not read, but you absolutely love the guy. You really do. It's hard to say that, but there's very few episodes where I'm like, oh, screw Ari. I can't take Ari in this one. There's very few episodes, and I think he will come out on top as probably having the best lines throughout the show.
Oh, there are certain things that Ari Gold has said over the years. Look at Keith just being a spoiler down there. There are certain things that Ari Gold has said over the years throughout the episodes that will randomly pop into my head, and I'll just bust out laughing. And we will get to that. We have some quotes of each episode that we'll go through. MVP. We'll talk about hottest chick. Listen. We warned you. And listen. We're not opposed. If there's females out there who love the show, reach out. You can absolutely join this, and you can talk about the hot dudes,
the dongs,
the dog. Absolutely, more than welcome to do that. All right, so let's jump into it here. Keith says the Ari Gold audiobook is amazing. I do have the book. I need to listen to the audiobook. It's got to be a million times better than.
I have that book too. I never read it. I got it from work. It's just it's somewhere around here. I got to look at it.
Take a look through it. So all right, season 1, episode 1 is called Entourage. It opens up with Turtle driving around in the Hummer. And then nowadays it would have to be probably an electric Hummer. Right.
They can't even drive a car anymore, damn it.
They're doing marketing for Vinny's new movie that's coming out. It's his first big deal out there. Right from the very beginning. Exactly, head on. But right from the very beginning, they're talking about the benefits of being part of the Entourage shoe concert. We'll catch up. All right.
He wants to come on.
Absolutely. Always. We are almost instantly thrown into, if you don't sign this, you can kiss our shoe hookup goodbye. So I think it's pretty cool. You jump right in there, Timmy, and you already see that you're part of this entourage and the benefits of it.
Exactly. Yeah. You know what? I'll say it now and get it out of the way. This show's a male fantasy. Like women can, I'm not going to attack women right now. That's not what I'm doing. But I'm saying, you guys had Sex in the City, that kind of show. Yeah. This is our Sex in the City. This is us. Like, holy shit, I want to be in this entourage. I want that Nike hookup. I want that free this, the free that. I want the benefits of having a best friend who's a movie star kind of thing. And yeah, like I said, right off the bat, just sitting there eating lunch, having models come by and how come we're not on the list? And you're not hot enough to be with us, and that kind of thing. That's Turtle's line. And you're thrust right into it. Of course.
Like Turtle back home was probably begging that chick.
Yes.
No, you're not hot enough.
I told him you're not hot enough. And Drama cursing them out because they didn't say hi to him and because they suck because they're in LA. If they were good, they'd be in New York models. So
yes.
Poor Drama. Poor Drama's already off to a bad start.
Yeah,
First 5 minutes.
and immediately they're making fun of because they're talking about going to a 10-year high school reunion, and Drama's like, oh yeah, my buddies, and they're like, your buddies? You sold weed to them in the parking lot. You were like 40.
We never find out how much older Drama is than Johnny. You get hints throughout the seasons, but you're like, really? How old are you? We never find out. So that makes it fun too.
No, for sure. A little bit. We get into part of the reason why I don't like E, and that is the relationship issues. It feels like exhausting sometimes with him, and we get just a tiny bit of that right off the bat. Where he's talking about his girlfriend breaking up. They just broke up, and the boys, Turtle and Drama, are like, is this gonna stick this time? And he's like, yeah, because we don't want to call her a bitch, and then next week you get back together and we gotta apologize. No, we're done. She's a bitch.
Yeah. I don't know. So we'll get through that, but there's very few episodes where I'm like, fuck E. I don't like E. Everyone else I could probably say that. I don't think I've ever had or Turtle. Have I ever had a bad Turtle episode? I don't think so. Because we're going to find out as we go through this walkthrough. But yeah. No, I get what you're saying. Yeah, because he is the one with all the relationship drama. He is the one with he falls in love with the drop of a hat, like the boys tease him about it. So
yes.
Yeah, well, we'll see. I like Kristen though.
Kristen, yes.
I like her
in that first episode. All right, going through a few more things here. They're at the head-on premiere. They're doing the interviews and whatnot. Jader. This is about Kristen.
Dude, she was hot. Jada, she was hot.
Yeah. So they're doing the interviews and stuff, and this is kind of where you get into a little bit of how no matter what, Vince is all about the entourage and all about always having Drama's back, no matter what. Drama's, as you're gonna come to find out in one mix of these episodes, he's been on Melrose Place, he's been on this show, he's been all these different shows,
Pacific Blue, and he's been fired off this and fired off that, and
yes. So that's another piece. So we're character building here. We're learning about the characters here. Ari, courtside. If you just read the damn script for Matterhorn, as you have there, Viking Quest victory.
Oh yeah.
And when Ari wants to know what Turtle's doing, which that's also going to be a trend throughout the series. Like, what are you doing here? I'm on ass patrol. How great!
And that's it. And we also learned right away. We learned right away. Like I said, Drama has one line in the movie. I'm out of here, motherfuckers, and that's a great line. Everybody loves him for it. And we see how E is in charge. Because even Drama's like, let's get out of the car. He's like, we got to no. Let Vince go first, idiot. It's his movie. It's his star.
For real.
He tells him, don't mug for the cameras. Don't go bother the girl from Extra. Just do your. And he lets them all go ahead, and he just sits in the back, and I guess he tries to enjoy himself. He has a lot of problems. He has a lot of trouble enjoying himself.
He does.
That's my one problem. I think I have with E. Because I'd be all up in
that's my big issue. Sometimes he's a killjoy.
Listen, we're not even at the first episode, and I'll tell you right now, I'd be Turtle. I'd be Turtle without the ambition of wanting a real job. That'd be me. I'd be happy taking.
What do you need it for?
No, I'd be happy being that guy, driving him around and getting his Dolce and all that kind of shit.
Here's one potential for quote of this episode is when Turtle's talking about being on ass patrol. E says, "Could you get laid without Vince?" Is the question. Do I give a fuck? That's the answer. And that's what Turtle says. Perfect. He's a moocher. He has no shame, right? So that's that.
Which again, like I said, at that age, in your mid-20s, yeah, that's all you think about in your mid-20s. And you have it get thrown at you because who one of your best friends is. Mm-hmm. Come on. Who's going to turn that down? Nobody.
And Turtle's going to Turtle's going to evolve a lot over this series, a lot.
He probably evolves the most.
Yeah, I think so. And it both physically, mentally, and his brains. When it comes to business stuff. Another thing right off the bat, it was the time, and all the help. I don't know why I noticed this, but as E is coming home and there's a soccer net and stuff, and he kicks a soccer ball and he hits one of the help in the head. All three of them are Hispanic names. Hey,
well, don't forget, it's also California.
Hey,
it's also California.
Hey, Blanca.
Yeah, Blanca. Yeah, it's California though. But wait, let me go back to one thing though.
Yeah, of course.
Remember in the part. This is the part of the show that I find fascinating. It's how some of these celebrities allow themselves to be portrayed in a certain way. Like we'll get to Seth Green down the road because he's such a fucking asshole on the show. Sweetest person in real life. I have met him. He is the nicest, sweetest person you'll ever meet in your life. Hate him on this fucking show. That's what I'm. But in this one, the only major one was Ali Larter. If you remember Ali Larter, she was on Heroes. She was in Varsity Blues. Yeah. And for the first episode, a pilot, she agreed to play like a crazy, obsessed ex-girlfriend of herself. I think that's pretty cool. Like, listen, we're going to play yourself, but if you were obsessed and crazy over Vincent Chase, okay, I'll do it. And I said that's probably my favorite part of the show is watching your Bob Saget's, your Seth Greens, but I think Bob Saget was really like that in real life anyway. But
yes.
I love that is my favorite part is watching those celebrities. So the first one we have is Ali Larter again, acting like just a crazy ex-girlfriend. Like, where the fuck is he? Fuck off, Eric. And he's like, what did I do? I didn't do anything wrong. So
Eric gets that on.
Yeah, I can't. I love looking at other celebrities and who can make fun of themselves. Because I like that.
Right.
I hate celebs who take themselves too goddamn seriously.
Yes, and nobody in this show I think does. All the cameos from again sports to movies to anything, and
they only get better. They only get better as the show got more popular. So
yes,
it's going to be
because
fun
people
to watch.
at that point people were now asking, "Can I get on Entourage? Can I get on Entourage?"
Which is why, like season 1, I was shocked that Ali Larter was the only one in the first one. Mark Wahlberg made his appearance, obviously, and then you get your little, you got your Jessica Alba's because she was his co-star in Head On. So, but we'll get to that. We'll get to that too.
Yes. Jessica Alba. All right. Then we get to another pretty involved theme throughout the series. Is that Vince hates to read scripts. E reads them, gives his feedback on it, and at least early on, Vince is going with everything that he says. What'd you think? I'm not reading this. What'd you think about it? He gets offered $4 million, which at the time, and today, is a whole hell of a lot of money, and they're high-fiving each other.
For an up-and-comer, yeah, a lot of money.
And that's for Matterhorn.
Die Hard at Disney World, baby. Die Hard at Disney World.
So one of the, I guess there's a lot of themes here. Another thing that they do is that they will get together and mull things over, doing just having a bonding moment. And one of those bonding moments is hitting golf balls off the roof of the house. Who's Tobey Maguire's house, Spanish tile roof, and all this stuff.
Pierce Brosnan,
Ed
Begley Jr.
So that's another thing. That's like a luxury. I'm a millionaire. Let me go hit golf balls off the top of the roof. And then we get introduced to a great character, Arnold.
That's right.
What do you think about Arnold? You love Arnold?
I love Arnold. Arnold and Black Hack. Black Hack got his first mention. We never meet Black Hack, but
that's right.
He's mentioned quite a bit. Black Hack has a dog for them. Black Hack is their weed hookup. He's their probably everything hookup. Yeah, Black Hack has a dog. They decide to get a dog. They think it's like a nice little fun dog. Nope, it's a Rottweiler named Arnold, and he's awesome,
fearsome. So what? Okay, so they got the big ass cage with this Rottweiler that's foaming at the mouth to get at these guys. And what do? They dress Turtle up as a Rangers goalie.
Yep, a lot of padding. Sick Arnold on him.
Oh my god!
And don't forget that he says, "Turtle, you want to go to the Playboy Mansion for lingerie night, right?" He's like, "Yep." He goes, "Well, I want to see what this dog can do."
And so, that's awesome. That feeds into the whole thing. I'll do anything you want.
Are you dressing up as the goalie to take Arnold on for a Playboy lingerie trip?
Back then, yes.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah. What was the first year of this show?
2004, I believe.
Okay.
04.
Hell yeah. That's like Tori Wilson's there also.
That's true.
All the WWE girls.
I wasn't even thinking about that.
No, that just popped into my mind. All right, and then we get introduced to the crazy relationship that is manager versus agent, E versus Ari. Hollywood powerhouse, Sbarro, assistant manager or overnight manager. Hey, Pizza Boy. Pizza Boy is a great reference. In this particular instance, E is taken out for sushi and sake with Ari because Ari needs to drill it into his head that you gotta have your client read, get out of his way. Basically, I know you're boys, Pizza Boy, and by the way, E calls it an Italian restaurant. I managed an Italian restaurant.
He married an Italian restaurant. Yeah.
But another line in which Ari is trying to show his will, his force. I don't have dinner with people like you. Ooh.
Yep.
Ooh. And then E doesn't back down, though.
You think Hugh Jackman calls him and says, "Have dinner with my pizza boy"?
Yes. Oh, it's so good.
And Ari's. I don't know if this is because this is one of those things that I always pay attention to too. This is. I don't know if it's because it was the pilot and they didn't know where they were going to go with the character, but Ari lies. Remember, he says, "Guess who I'm fucking?" And he's fucking a Russian model, Irina, whatever, or Kova. He never cheated on his wife. You'll figure out later, and you'll see by episode 4 who wears the pants in that family. So here he is trying to. I don't say again. Were they trying to make him a scumbag in the pilot, or was he just lying to show E, I am Ari Gold and you are, just a shitheel?
So you bring up a good point because they mentioned that I haven't listened to the show for a while. The what is it? Victory, the podcast. And in it, Doug Allen says there are things here that just don't make sense. Because we were going to go one way, then I changed my mind and said, "Nah, who's going to notice?"
See now.
How do you do that? I notice. Say who's going to notice?
I notice. I notice a few things. One, you know what? We'll jump ahead real quick. Remember, Turtle says, "Oh, my mom sold her house, and for a certain amount of money." Fast forward season 5, she still lives right across the street from Vince. She doesn't really sell her house, so that I can see where down the road. I mean, even Friends made changes. To the history of the background. Not a big deal. It didn't bother me. But I said, were they going to go with Ari being a cheating scumbag because it was just a pilot, or was he just being his usual, look at me, I'm better than you, asshole kind of guy? It can go either way.
Yes. And you'll also notice that we'll learn down the road that Ari likes to embellish a little bit on some things. And then that episode closes with E gives his final opinion. I don't think you should do the movie, and then here comes Ari calling. Won't be the last time this happens. Colin Farrell took Matterhorn, hangs up saying, "Fuck you."
Yep. wait, and we forgot the best. We'll get to the line of the line.
Rewind. Go ahead.
We'll get line of the episode. He was talking to right before he tells E, Colin Farrell. He says, and I'm just gonna spoil it now. The line of the show for me is he gets cut off by somebody, and all you hear him yell is, "Do they drive that way in Tiananmen Square, bitch?" Again, super racist, super. Because when you say Tiananmen Square, you know what kind of person driving the car is. Fucking, I don't care. It's a fucking great line. It's a phenomenal line, and I'm already telling you. That's my line. That's my line of episode 1 already. So that was a great one.
I like the that one. That one's great. It's gonna be always hard for me to be convinced that it's something other than what Ari said. Uh, there's gonna be a lot of Ari quotes because they're just great. But I like the exchange between E and Turtle with when he says about could you get laid without Vince? Do I fucking care? Like
Listen,
it,
again, I'm going to spoil it. Out of the first 4 episodes that we've talked, I think I only have one Ari win. I think you're going to be shocked at my picks.
okay.
I'll convince you. You'll see.
Actually, yeah. Season 3, I don't have an Ari.
But don't forget, this is also, like I said, this is the season 1. This is still getting the characters out because Ari really isn't Ari yet. He's more of a dick in season 1 than he is what he becomes later, which is hysterical and all that stuff. I don't care. He's a great character, but in this season, he's more of just like a real manager. I mean, agent asshole than he is the guy he becomes later on.
Yeah, there are some serious things that he says to get under skin, and relationships haven't developed yet.
Yeah.
All right, so that's that. You want to do MVP of the first episode?
MVP of the first episode, I'm gonna have to go with. That's a good one, actually. I don't know about this episode. I really didn't sit down and think about that for this one.
Yeah, there's not because it's like a getting to know you episode. So it's like maybe it's Arnold. You want to throw him a bone?
I'll give it to Arnold for the first episode.
There we go. All right,
I'll give it to Arnold. I'll give it to him.
Give it to Arnold. All right, so and then let's do hottest chick.
Oh, first episode. I'm gonna go with the one that E ended up with in the that looks like his ex-girlfriend.
Yes,
I liked her.
The ex-girlfriend is also hot. We haven't seen. Did we see her in the first episode?
We don't see her yet.
Second episode.
This episode we see her.
So we get an idea of what she looks like.
Yeah.
I'm going with you on that.
Cool.
All right. Season 1, episode 2 is called The Review. First big movie, first big reviews. We get the first walk to Ari's office. I think it's to open up that episode. And
don't forget, what does it open up with? Episode 1, he's this vicious animal that they have to train. Episode 2 opens with Turtle pulling up in a Hummer, opening the door, and Arnold gets out, his new best friend.
Yes.
Took a ride to the cleaners together.
Yeah, you're right about that, yes.
So Arnold is already very well trained, and he loves Turtle already. So
a lot of Arnold in this show in general. Not particularly this episode, but all right. As the entourage is walking by down to Ari's office, there's another entourage walking opposite, and that entourage includes is it Justine Chapin, this big pop star who is a virgin, and it seems as though everybody in Hollywood is after that virginity. So there's signs of things to come there, and then we meet Emily for the first time.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think about it? So Emily is Ari's first assistant that we're introduced to. What are your thoughts on Emily and that first interaction?
Well, yeah. Don't forget right away. She said that her dad's from Flushing, so she's happy to meet a couple guys from Queens. So okay, you gotta like a girl from a kid from Flushing. So that was all right. Yeah. So right away we find out that here goes E falling in love at first sight. Which is fine though. Yeah, which is fine. I mean,
you just got over this one.
Hey, it's what
not
happens.
yet, actually.
Not yet, but it's what happens. No, she's a good-looking girl who. But I'm glad she didn't stick around too much longer. She does pop up later on with working for James Cameron, but that's pretty cool. Yeah, she's all right. He was an okay character. We'll get into it later when they end their relationship. I don't understand why. Like it still baffles me to this day. I don't understand it. We'll get to that though when that episode pops up.
Yeah. I wrote down E already likes her from from the first deal. All right, so get into the big topic of this episode is the review for um, what is it?
Head on, head on.
Head on. Thank you. Review for Head On. Variety kind of slams him. Um, where is that quote? Drama. In his infinite wisdom to try and calm down the group about bad reviews, says, where okay, one review called me a functioning retard
for Viking Quest, and that's our first mention of Viking Quest too.
Yes. Very first mention of Viking Quest, another big deal throughout the entire series. So you get into the room with now this is our very first Ari, Vince and E meeting where it's like, all right, you two sit out here to Drama and Turtle always. They talk about Ari's lying, it's not a big deal, and then they talk. You got a book. They talk through that whole situation. He holds E back. And I found that interaction to be like, again, what you said, a dick of an agent.
Mm-hmm.
We haven't gotten to that next level of Ari yet, but he says, you book your next job before the movie comes out, just in case the bad reviews come out, then you don't get your offers. And this is the infamous line, which does this have to win, or we'll save it to the end, but.
It's our first. It's our first. Let's hug it out, bitch.
He
tells him, take him out, get him drunk, get him laid. Don't mention the goddamn review ever again. Just keep him distracted. And then finally, he's like, "You want to hug it out?" And he's like, "No." He's like, "Come on, let's hug it out, bitch." and they throw the hug on. So yeah, it's great.
One of the bigger moments in Entourage history is that hug. All right, so what do entourages do? They buy fancy things, cars, houses. We get right into some car shopping here, right to the Rolls Royce, Timmy.
They didn't even fuck around.
319,000.
Right to a Phantom Rolls Royce. That's insane. That's an insane car.
And by the way, the sales guy, they ask how much it is. Says 320,000. But if you autograph a poster, I'll give it for 319. $1,000.
$1,000 off. Are you joking? Fuck you, Randy.
Get out of here. All right, and then another on the way home. Spoiler alert: they buy the car. On the way home, smoking weed in the car. Come up to a light. Oh, look, bunch of hot girls. What a shocker! Come follow us home.
Call two friends and follow us home, and that's it.
And this is why this is the perfect show for the men out there.
Mm-hmm.
Because we wish.
We wish.
We wish. All right. Let's talk about what goes on. The party. It's always in the pool. And is this the one? Is this the one where the girl with Turtle is saying, "I want to see if I'm the one that gets to sleep with Vince"?
That was the first one. That was episode 1.
This is how this goes.
No, this one ends quickly because we get the call from Marvin.
Marvin.
We meet Marvin for the first time. Vince's accountant,
Jewish accountant, who
is never ever happy. All he does is scream. By the way, also he's what's his name from Sopranos? Beansy. Yes. He's Beansy from Sopranos. In case anybody wants to know
family, that. HBO.
That's right.
Stayed in the family. So Marvin wants a meeting because obviously he's heard that they just bought a $319,000 car. E says we got a meeting with Marvin. He says, hell no, I don't want to listen to that dude tell me how to spend my money. So E gets down there, and this hits me. This is funny to me. They talk. This dude just bought a $319,000 car, and Marvin, the Jewish financial advisor, says, cell phone bill. Get the man on an unlimited plan.
Turtle has a $2,500 cell phone bill. Get him an unlimited. No, Turtle has a $1,500. I wrote it down too. Drama has a $2,500 vitamin supplement a month. 25. He goes, anyone takes that many vitamins, they'll die. What is he doing?
So great. So yeah, and then E with the sarcastic on the way out. Yeah, I'll get him free nights and weekends too.
Yep. Remember that back in the day?
Yes.
People who watch that
would
now
not answer their phones.
They would not get that reference though. Now people would be like, "What do you mean free nights a weekend?" No, back in the day, you had to wait till 9 o'clock on a Friday to make your phone calls.
And don't you dare! If I listen, your minutes, right back then, your minutes were like you get 1,000 minutes a month for $40 a month or whatever the hell, and you almost like charting out who you're going to spend your minutes on, right?
Yep. And then it's like Friday comes, you're like, oh my god, I can't wait till Friday 9 o'clock. I can't wait. And then just in case they fuck up, you're like 9:02. I'm ready. I'm ready to start making phone calls on my cell phone now.
Yeah, because if you make the call at like 8:58, 8:59,
you're getting charged.
Charges the whole damn thing.
You're getting charged.
Look at how far we've come. Look,
don't
worry about that.
Even say watching a show like this, how far we've come just since it's a show.
Yeah. So look at cell phones. Look at cell phones at the beginning.
The flip phones, yeah.
Yes. Actually, and I think it's this episode that Ari calls E on a video call, and he goes, "Am I 21st century or what, bitch?"
I actually wrote that down. I wrote whatever episode that was. That's the next episode.
Okay.
I wrote down. Yeah, right, I wrote. Wow, the first FaceTime call. I think I was like,
yeah.
Because that was just on Star Trek back in 2000. That should never happen in real life.
Yeah, that was a futuristic deal. All right. Well, if you're an Entourage and you just bought a $320,000 car, what's next? Let's start talking about houses.
How about Jessica Alba's birthday party? Well, no, not birthday party. Party for Justine Chapin going on tour. That's what's next.
That's where they were having lunch, and Alba walks up there and says, "All right, come to the party." Great party.
And she's mad about the review.
Yeah, she apologizes.
She's the co-star. She said you were really great in the movie, and come to my party for Justine Chapin. There'll be a lot of women there, and that's all they needed to hear.
That's it. No, for sure. The other dudes, like, hell yeah, get in there. And as soon as they get to the party, Alba says, "Hey, how are you? Everything? I'm going to steal your friend for a second," and immediately escorts him over to Miss Chapin, and they begin to chat. And she's like, "All right, I'm out. I did my connection here. I'm all good." What did I write here?
By the way, I have a piece of trivia for you. Did you know? I noticed it back in the day because I have this weird gift. It's a useless gift, but it's a weird one. In the crowd at that party is WWE diva Candice Michelle.
No, I did not know that.
She is one of the little dancing in the background girls. And I know that because she shows up at another party in another season. I said, what is this chick just running around going to parties?
I didn't know that.
She makes 2 appearances. Candice Michelle, former WWE. Yep. She popped in this party. There's a little trivia for you.
Oh, nice. I did not know that. And now I got to go back and look at it.
Just watch the party. You'll see her pop up.
So all right. So at the party, you got Ari again being a dick. Goes over to E, threatens him. I have ears everywhere. Talk shit behind my back. I don't remember what he said. I don't remember what the hell he said.
Talking about again, I'll fucking kill you. I got ears everywhere. I got ears everywhere.
Yeah.
After he tried to steal Jessica Alba from her manager.
Yeah.
And by the way, can we talk about David Faustino? What the fuck is he doing at Jessica Alba's party? Listen, David Faustino. No offense. No offense, dude. You were Bud Bundy. You were cool back in the day. But you're not getting invited to Jessica Alba's fucking party. It's just the way it goes. I'm sorry, dude.
Not the last we'll see of him either.
Oh no, he's all up to this goddamn show. He must be friends with Doug Ellen or somebody.
I guess.
Again, not a bad dude. I'm not knocking you. I'm just saying, realistically, unless Hollywood's like that, let's just roll up to a party. It's like, oh, that's like the B section, the C section, the D side. I don't know. I've never been to one, so I can't really say anything.
Yeah, I know. All right. Other things that happen at that party. You know, Vince. They talk about how Vince doesn't want to be anybody's first. I guess Vince came to his senses, tells E, go ahead and return the Rolls Royce. We look like dicks in them anyway. And then finally some good damn news. Ari calls and says that the New York Times says Vince is the next Johnny Depp. All right. And how would you react if you're told you're the next Johnny Depp? Go spend some money. So that's I believe that's how that episode ends. Let's go shopping. Then they start talking about a house.
Yep.
All right. So I mean, for me, let's hug it out, bitch. I don't think that there's anything.
See, I got a different one.
Do you?
Me,
okay, that's mine.
Let's go back to the scene in the Rolls Royce when the women pick up. The women roll next to him, and he says, "Throws it on the Powerball winner. I won the Powerball."
Yeah.
And then Drama says, you girls want a party, and they say to him, "Hey, don't we know you from somewhere?" And Turtle's line, which is my line of the show, "You watch Cinemax at 5 a.m." That is fucking my favorite line of that show. That is
great.
That is such a great line. It got Johnny right where he deserved to get. And it was such a dick line to say. So I'm giving it to Turtle. You watch Cinemax at 5 a.m.
Hey, that excellent line. There's so many options. All right, MVP of this bad boy. The MVP is the one I didn't write down on any of them because I wanted to talk through it with you. Yeah, and see.
Huh. It's a good question. This one, I'm going to have to say, I might have to say Ari. Is it Ari? I'm going to go with Ari. Like, we start seeing where the character's going. The character's starting, right. That's right. I'm going to give it to that one for him for episode 2. Not just for the hug it out bitch line, but this is where you start seeing his distaste for E, what he's looking for Vince. I think that's what it is.
Okay.
So I'm gonna go with Ari.
I'm having trouble with this one. I'm gonna go with Justine Chapin.
Okay.
Going off the rails here a little bit.
That's fine.
I think that the episode is kind of centered around her, and now Vince getting involved with another celebrity. That's going to be big talk, by the way. Big talk of the town. It's LA. So I give it to her, and I'll piggyback on the hottest girl. It's Alba for me because at 20 in 2004, I'm 23. Jessica Alba was my pedestal.
There might be one in the background of that party that we didn't really notice, but yeah you got to go Jessica Alba. You have to. She was at her peak then too.
Also, not
that she's ugly now.
Again. No,
not that she's ugly now, but I'm just saying that was her at her peak.
Yeah. And again, not the last time we'll see her. She'll be along for a few more times. All right, so now this starts really to start feeling like what Hollywood truly is. The movie is the press for the movie opens, you start getting reviews, and right before the movie hasn't opened quite yet, but right before the movie, you start going on talk shows, and the name of this episode is Talk Show. Opens with them at a boxing match, which again you're going to see them at Lakers games, you're going to see them at boxing matches, UFC eventually.
And all real. There's no faking it. It's all real. They took the cast and threw them into the crowd and said, "React,"
which is wild because back then it was different filming things. There are things that. And it might be the thing that really irritates me about E. There are things that were actually said on the show that were not supposed to be said on the show, and they couldn't cut it. So, yeah, we'll get to all that down the road. So after the boxing match, I think Lennox Lewis was there watching. They head to a bar and they run into Jimmy Kimmel. Jimmy Kimmel's at the bar, wants Vince on the show. I don't know. Is that how things work out ever? Like, how did he have an opening for the day after on his?
Maybe someone just canceled
his show. Maybe somebody canceled.
And can I bring up real quick too? Remember when they're walking and Turtle says he'd let Klitschko blast him in his face for $50,000.
Yeah,
that's where I get that from. I got that from Turtle too, because when you really sit back and think about it, I don't think there's anybody I wouldn't let punch me in the face for $50,000. I'd be more scared of those UFC guys. Like, would you let someone put you in an arm bar? No, I don't want that because that's just going to hurt. But I would let any boxer or punch me in the face for any amount of money because I'll probably get knocked out. And when I wake up, I got $50,000.
Boom.
No big deal. I'm going to be hurt.
Tax free.
I'm going to look stupid, for a couple days.
You go and rest it off.
But those UFC guys, it's like, oh, can I put you in an arm bar? No, that you can't do. But for $50,000, you can punch me right in my face, no problem. I'll take that money any day of the week. And one funny line was, Ari's like, oh, did you like it? It's two slow white guys. And then he goes, tell Rob Schneider you bought these tickets. So Ari basically gave Rob Schneider's tickets away to Vincent. So that's a great shot at Rob Schneider.
He's the guy, yes. Yeah. All right, so what do we learn about here is that there's some type of a beef going on between Jimmy Kimmel and Johnny Drama. Something has happened in the past, and we'll find out a little bit later on. But just another perk of being part of an entourage, they run into Luke Wilson, and Luke Wilson tells them about
Rufus. Baby. Rufus, Video Home Solutions. Another great character who pops up throughout the entire series.
Yes. Yeah, and shows some range because they're definitely different storylines.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
All right, so he's got the hookup for home theater. He gave him a big discount. He named the company on a
InStyle
show
magazine.
Or something.
InStyle
magazine. Yeah. And he got the hookup. All right, so let's put that on pause for a second, and then E, as always, needs to talk shop at the bar. Starts talking about you got to prepare for the show, and what's Vince like, Mr. Laid Back? It's a talk show.
It's a talk show.
To them.
Yeah. The best. We want you to tank like you did on Regis and Kelly. He's like, that's a morning show,
dude.
A morning show. We had a late night.
We were out all night.
This is like Kimmel. It's a whole different story. Yeah, this is where I really liked Vincent when he gets like that, because he was like that in every talk show appearance for the entire series.
Yeah.
And Leno, whatever, he's like, I don't give a shit. I don't care. Like he doesn't care. He doesn't want to be there. Like, go see my movie, and that's it. I want to go get laid and whatever. Yeah, it was pretty funny.
Yeah, there's no prep for the show. We hear Drama's side of this whole deal at breakfast the next morning, and Drama's version of this is that him and Kimmel were buddies. He's a phony prick. After he left Melrose Place, or fired from Melrose Place, there it is. Kimmel ditched him. And that's why, he would never answer. No, he never reached out or anything. So that's why they were pissed. So we get Drama's part of the story here. Then we start E and the X. That's a conversation to be had. And one of my nominees for quote here is Turtle saying,
I think we have the same one. Let's see.
Go ahead, you're going to say it.
Oh, no, I saw Turtle, though. You're right there.
Oh.
For me, it's E. So go ahead. You go ahead. You say what you're going to say.
All right, so Turtle says, which is just everything that E's about. You can sum it up. Broken up and still pussy whipped. That's E.
And my line that I pick is E's reaction to that, which is, he says to Vince, you never had a relationship. He says to Drama, You've never. Oh no, he says that to Turtle, you've never had a relationship. To Vince, you've never ended one. And then to Drama, he says, and you only person you never loved was yourself. And Drama says, "What's not to love?" That's my favorite line through that episode. So
That's awesome.
I'll spoil that now.
That's a good segue. So now let's get into Vince has never broken up with anybody.
Never.
Just lets it happen. And
I admire that so much.
So do I.
Because I've
done it
so much.
I have done it.
You just let it fester. Just let it die.
Yeah,
just let it go. God, I admire that. I admire that so much.
No, I did that with an ex-girlfriend, and it was just enough already. But I just I was Vince, and just let it, just like you said, fester and eat away and dissolve. And finally, I was away on business, and she called me, and she was like, "This is not working out." Okay. Hung up the phone. The guy, my buddy I was with, I was on Jericho, Long Island for a grand opening of a Best Buy store, and hung up the phone. High fives, baby, high fives. So I do admire him, and I've done it before. Next up, who do we meet? We meet Shauna.
Shauna's first appearance.
The publicist.
And Shauna is hard to like. I mean, it's a great character. Debbie Mazar does a great job, but she's rough around the edges, man. She's nonstop insult trained. I feel bad for Turtle half the time. Turtle and Drama. Poor Turtle and poor Drama. I feel so bad for them when Shauna gets on their cases. Because she has some good ones, though. She does. She calls him a fat little midget. What did she say? I'm gonna get you on a horny little retard show, and Drama's gonna be on with the brothers, asshole brothers, whatever it is, like brothers with Don Swayze and other people. Oh yeah, she goes all in on them.
It's yeah. You don't want to be on her bad side, and she's direct to the point. There's no softening any blows here. She actually is pissed, kind of, that he accepted the offer to go on Kimmel because he might piss off Leno.
Yeah,
you know, that type of thing. So she's obviously looking out for his best interests when it comes to, how he's seen in public. E does the pre-interview as they're golfing, telling the most boring stories ever.
Dumb, boring stories.
Stupid, and he's like, "Yeah, I thought that was funny. I thought it was funny."
And
it's like awkward moments.
Vince just refusing, like, "Nah, you do it. Nah, I'm good. It's a talk show. I'll just talk." Which I admire that too.
Yeah, I feel like we're channeling our inner Vinces.
Yeah, because when you watch these talk shows, 95% of that shit's ahead of time.
Oh yeah,
I want to see the real shit. I want to see Jimmy Fallon ask some real fucking questions, not some shit that they planned out ahead of time.
Yeah,
I like that.
Stay away from this. Stay away from that. Don't talk about this.
Yeah, which is all bullshit.
All right, let's talk about flowers.
So I like Vince. I like Vince's approach to that. So again, I admire that also.
You know what I want to look up now that you mentioned that. Letterman was just on that Smart List show, but the reason why I'm bringing this up is because he talked about that there's a pre-interview process of what if something goes horribly wrong, default to this.
Yeah.
That I wonder how that went with Joaquin Phoenix that time. How the pre-interview went when Joaquin Phoenix was acting that movie that he did.
He was acting all crazy. Yeah.
That was such an awkward thing. All right. E does a pre-interview, and then we are introduced to. This is our first introduction to Kristen, right?
Yep.
Okay.
Picking up her stuff.
Yes, which she's all about making fun of how he's living, how he is like Vince's boy and whatever. Conversation goes through, they start kissing, and she knows E. She said, "E, This is not makeup sex. This is breakup sex.
Mm-hmm.
They have sex, and what's the first damn thing he does? You want to go to dinner and talk things?
And she's like, dude, hops right out of bed.
I'm out. All right, so we learn. All right, this is the type of person that Vince will get. Going back into the Vince thing. Vince knows that one of his exes is going to be on the same show as him, right? So in typical, what you'll find out is typical Vince fashion. He wants to try to mend fences before, so it's not awkward. Vince does not like awkward.
But even then, Sarah Foster can be on the show. What are you going to say to her? I'll say, I don't know. When I see her, I'll say what I say. Again, I admire the shit out of that.
But then he gets in his own head.
Of course,
but it works out.
It works out.
It works out. So he makes a beeline to her dressing room. She opens the door, and her entourage leaves. Hey, I feel so terrible. I never called you. And then she goes, well, I never called you. Mm-hmm. And then he's
like, really?
A little flirting thing. You look pretty good. So do you. Come in.
Yep, and that's the end of that.
Is that how easy it is for these guys?
For Vince, it is, yeah.
I guess. All right, and then there are, Vince is on the show, holding hands, with the awkward stuff that just happened, and he just outwardly admits, I guess, another thing that we can admire. Yeah, we just had sex 5 minutes ago.
Yep, just had sex. That's why we're holding hands. I was like, whoa, everyone's like, oh my god, he just doesn't care.
No, and
tell me about the movie. Nah, I don't want to. I don't want to say about the movie.
Clip.
Show the clip. Nah, let's not show the clip. Just go see the movie. It's a great movie. You'll love it. That's it.
And if you don't,
yeah, you get the money back, but not from me.
Money back
from the studio.
From the studio. And then I think the way this episode ends is they again. Vince is always thinking about his brother. What do you want to talk about, Vince? I want to talk about drama. He says you did dirty. And he's like, no, I tried. I did. So then Drama's in the back with the rest of the boys and Shauna. And they call him on and he's like, what are you doing? Do they try putting makeup on him?
Yeah. Do I have time for makeup? Like, no, idiot, get out there. Run. And he runs out there.
All right. And then they hug. I guess in that instant, everything is forgiven because Kimmel says, I did try and reach out. I reached out all the time, and Drama's all of a sudden like, maybe he did.
Yeah, maybe he did.
It's the drugs, guys.
And the best part is what happens next. They whip out the hat, and it says Rufus's Video Home Solution. Excellent. Thumbs up, baby. And they
got yeah. So there's your in with an entourage in LA.
And one thing we missed though, I got that I liked. Jimmy Kimmel's green room is supposed to be like a real hot scene back in the day. It's before he was married, and Ari was not allowed in because of an incident with Natalie Portman's father. And again, they don't say what that was, but in your mind, you're like, "Oh my god, I want to know what happened. I want to know what happened with Ari and Natalie Portman's father." Sarah Silverman he was dating her back in the day. Jimmy Kimmel, she was there.
She was there.
She had a cool little appearance. Yeah.
Yeah.
He's like, oh, hanging out. He's like, yeah, I'm hanging out. It's like my boyfriend's show, Of course I'm here. So she got him into the green room, Ari, because he was banned for the Natalie Portman.
Yeah,
and again,
come on, you want to sneak in?
I think the best part is not telling us what the incident was because we had to make up shit in our head.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what was the Natalie Portman incident? Oh my god, it's great. So that was a good part also.
Great little Easter egg stuff there. All right, so we kind of went through some of the quotes. Where do you land with MVP here?
I'm gonna give it to Vince. This is, like I said, this is where I admire him for the never broke up with anybody. I admire him for the talk show stuff. Because dude, it's a talk show. Ask questions, I answer them. Why are you making this more difficult than it really has to be? And then he bangs an actress in a dressing room and brings her out on TV. It takes a lot of balls. So
I'm tells everybody what they just did.
Yep. So I'm going to go with Vince for MVP for that one.
I'm going with Vince too. I think it's a slam dunk on this one.
Yeah.
Just because he is the MVP. Well, this is what we wanted to do and still do. All right. Um. All right. So the fourth episode that we're going to go through tonight. Again, the first season is pretty short. Just 8 episodes. So um, we'll have some episodes like this, but mostly going forward, we'll cover 1 or 2 episodes per, because it starts getting a little bit more involved here. All right, so episode 4 is called Date Night. It opens up with Ari calling waking up E on opening night for the movie. And the first quote that you hear on this episode is "Game day, baby. Wake the fuck up."
The first Ari waking up E phone call.
Mm-hmm. First of many. And then all right, so that's a quick little interaction there. And then the next phone call is Ari's assistant, Emily, to drop off fan mail, right? And this is where another level of embarrassment gets added to E. They're chatting, and it's her that asks him out. Nothing wrong with that. But
I
when
admire.
you're rolling with an entourage,
That's true, but I admire how fast he got cleaned up for her. By the way,
yes.
he rolled out of bed, threw clothes on, fixed his hair, mouthwash, ready to go. I admire that. That's actually how I get ready in the morning. If I leave my house at 7:45, I don't get up till 7:30. 15 minutes in, I'm done. I'm out.
Done. Yeah, we're easy that way.
And Emily also, she does again. This is one of those legends, those Hollywood things that I wrote it down because I want to know if some of these are true. Someone from Ocean's 11 bought $3 million worth of tickets to make sure their movie went number 1.
Mm-hmm.
They'd never say who it is. Well, I guess I with with Wahlberg producing this, I'm thinking it's Clooney. I'm thinking Clooney because,
and we'll never know. But
we'll never know. But Ocean's 11, the only 2 people who would spend that much money would be Clooney and Pitt, and I don't see Pitt doing it. So I'm going with Clooney.
Pitt feels too carefree.
Yeah, I'm going with Clooney. I think Clooney did it. So that's one of those. That's one of those Hollywood legends that go around that they pop into the show that I really want to know about.
Yeah. All right. So Emily brings the fan mail. Says, "Do you want to go to dinner?" E, "Oh, are you asking me out?" And then she says, "Well, I could have had a courier drop off the fan mail." So obviously E, and obviously you're falling for the girl already. You want to talk about Drama's girl?
Yes, because first of all, Turtle, again, this is the job that I would that's why I wouldn't mind being Turtle out of the 4 of them. He handles the fan mail for Vince, and he sends out.
Oh my God! I glossed over that.
I mean, he sends out the pictures to the kids. Oh look, they sent $1 for the stamp, and they all look at him. He's like, "Don't worry, I'll send the picture." I would gladly do it. Imagine that's all you got to do all day is drive around fucking Vince and do his fan mail for him, and you live the life of luxury. Who doesn't want that shit?
Naked picture.
I'll do that now at 47. If one of my friends said, like, "Dude, take me with you. I will do all the dirty work that you fucking want. I don't care." Definitely do that shit. But yeah, and he gets a very racy photo from a girl from Flagstaff who's a little maybe unhinged because the picture was nice. The note said, what did it say? "I think we were together in another life," and he's like, oh, he's all about it. So then we can move on from there. But yeah, because that comes back to play later.
Oh my God, does it? All right.
Oh, but Drama's girl. Yeah,
Drama's girl. Yeah. Go ahead. Talk about Drama's girl.
Oh my God, this is where the line of the show comes from already. It came out real quick in this episode because they said, "Yeah, I heard Drama last night. I think he picked the girl up offline because they sounded like 2 baboons fucking." So when they finally reveal who they come out to say, Drama got himself a bodybuilder. I mean, this chick lifted her shirt up. She had fucking like a 12-pack of abs that looked like there's no way it could look like it was even real. That's how impressive these things were. Big, huge arms. They were all like,
she even makes them. Yeah, they're disgusted by it. She's like, "Do it." He's like, "Do it for them, baby."
Yeah. And it's like, oh my God. And then again, when she leaves, all the boys run to the door and are sitting there waiting. And Drama's like, "What?" And my line of the show, I'm giving it away right now.
I think we're in sync here.
Well, he has two of them, but both of them are great. But this one is, "Where did you meet her?" Drama, the Barry Bonds hearing.
That's it.
Great fucking line. Great fucking line.
Damn good.
It is. Chai Turtle again. My MVP Turtle. I love you, Turtle. And then right after that, he says, "Oh, she gave me the ride of my life. All I did was hold on to those lats." And Turtle again, holding on to those lats. It must feel like you're fucking Evander Holyfield. Again, back to back Turtle. So
Turtle gets a lot of zingers in on Drama.
Oh yeah,
Drama
definitely.
especially.
Yes, so those two. That was a great thing.
Okay, so they're kind of still doing radio promos. So Vince jumps on Power 106 out in Los Angeles.
Big boy,
and says, I don't have a date yet for this thing. And who calls in?
Good old
Justine Chapin to the rescue.
Played by Leighton Meester, by the way, but she doesn't get a shout out because she's not playing herself.
Right, exactly.
The ones that play herself are the key one that I want to talk about.
I wrote down another quote that's funny, but that is a little bit later. All right, so Chapin calls. They flirt over the phone. You look hot on the billboard. Definitely want to, hang out tonight. And that's exactly what they do. But before that, in between, they're talking about, E wants to do his own thing. Vince then says, let's all get dates. That's the way Vince is. Vince will say, all right, everybody into the jet. Let's head to France. Let's head to Vegas. Whatever the case might be. But they talk about leaving the other alone with the other two. And Vince goes, what if I get a girl and leave you two with the two retards?
The two retards. I don't want to be left alone with the two retards. What if I leave you alone with the two retards?
Good man. Poor Drama and Turtle. Doesn't he get? Is it this episode he gets called Tortoise, right?
Tortoise, yeah. The Flagstaff girl calls him Tortoise.
The Flagstaff girl, yes. All right, so they go bowling. We find out that the movie is up against Ice Age, which, damn, is a family flick. All the kids got to go see it.
They call that. They just call that Pixar squirrel.
Yeah.
You don't see that Pixar squirrel?
And so I think pretty cool. They drive by the line in the limo. What are you going to see? What are you going to see head on? No, the squirrel movie. And then what he spoils.
Turtle's like, nah, fuck that. I saw it this morning. The mother squirrel dies. Go see head on.
out of the sunroof, the moonroof.
Yeah.
So that's cool. And then like when things like that come on the show, you start thinking, does that happen in real life? I absolutely think it does.
I think so.
Yeah. Why not?
Like I said, I would love to interview Mark Wahlberg and say, dude, you got to give us something. Name some of this shit that really did happen.
Yep.
Just give us a couple little nuggets. You don't have to blow up anybody's spot. But that's what I'm just dying to know. That's why whenever these legends pop up too, I just want to know one that's true. Just one. Just give me one that I know is true. Truth.
Exactly. Like, formally say this happened, and I can move on. All right, so they're bowling. Did anything interesting happen with the bowling?
Wait, I do have one thing.
Of course.
Because it's a character thing for Drama. Drama steals the batteries out of the remote control in the radio station. That right there is the key to know where Drama, the character, is going to go. He steals batteries out of a music studio.
Absolutely. No shame.
To put into his razor to shave his balls.
Yes.
You see him later shaving those batteries. So that just shows you where Drama's going. So there you go.
And so a ghost.
Seth Green is not a dick.
A ghost from the past, the Four Quarters shows.
Listen to me, Seth Green in real life, sweetest person I ever met. Entourage, a dick. Yes, absolutely. Which makes it.
He's such a massive dick in Entourage.
Oh my God, I can't wait to talk about him because
what a fucking
The real eye and that guy, it's just the worst. So it's gonna be good. But no, during bowling, well, no, don't forget we have Flagstaff. Turtle invites Flagstaff girl because he couldn't get a date. Flies this chick in. She's obviously
because
not.
She knows she's desperate.
Yeah, and she's not mentally well. She actually saw Vince's movie twice in the one day because she's that obsessed with Vince. And she's flashing her panties and her privates to Vince as she bowls, and that's really all the stuff that happened during the bowling, and until we get to Drama's juice head trying to beat up a fan, and he tells you can't beat up the fans, honey. And she's like, "What are you gonna do about it? You're gonna like step up, and be She goes tweet, like making fun of him. That's like so he gets emasculated and then just walks away. Poor guy.
Well, and then Turtle comes over and says, whatever her name was, where is she? And what did you say?
She left me for Teen Wolf. The first one, no, the guy's in the sequel. Because it was Jason Bateman.
Jason Bateman.
and the line,
I love how Jason Bateman is the guy from Teen Wolf too.
Yeah, and again, what could have been line of the show also. He says, "Where's what's her name?" Turtle says, "Where's what's her name?" And she goes, "Probably doing push-ups in the men's room for all I care." Yeah, great fucking line again. That's such a great line. That one girl had so many lines.
Yep. All right, and then we meet a very, 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 very important character on the show, and that is Mrs. Ari.
Hot too, always hot.
Yes. All right. So you mentioned a little bit earlier that in episode 4. My voice is like, I'm not sure what's going on. But in episode 4, we find out who... It's not that show, Terzio.
In his mind, it always is.
We find out who wears the pants in the Gold family, right? This is one of the Dana's better than Mrs. Ari, says the four.
Dana Gordon?
Dana Gordon.
No way. Dana has her qualities. She has her qualities, but she's no Mrs. Ari.
All right, and here is where Ari, we're gonna find out Ari's always gonna try and be the dominant person in the relationship, but quickly chopped down.
Yeah, he gets the news that the movie's number one live action movie. He's like, I gotta go. He's dumping his wife on date night to go to a club to tell him, and she's like, it's date night. He's like, look, it's 24/7 with this shit, baby. I gotta go. And she says, well, give me the car keys. And he screams, there's a fucking cab stand on Yucca. And then she just stares at him, and he goes, will you drop me off?
Give me the fucking keys, Ari.
Will you drop me off at least? So right away, we know that story from the episode 1 is pure bullshit, that he was just trying to, look good for E, and that Mrs. Ari is the one that wears the fucking pants in the family.
It's so good because he tries to act so tough. Terzio says still in Colombia. Looks like you already gave up on the Mets. Well, we'll get to that. $18.6 million is the opening for Head On. So, like you said, number 1 live action, because he comes in saying, "Guess who's the number 1 movie in the country?" He says, "We beat the squirrel." He's like, "All right, live action."
Live action. You're not beating the squirrel, so yeah.
Yeah, absolutely not. But we know what's going to happen later on in the series, but it goes from you're not beating the squirrel to you beat somebody else. Further down the line. So that kind of shows where they came from. Then a girl comes up to. Here's another jealous moment for us. Girl comes up to Vince, says, "Hey, Vince, you go to my gym. See you later."
And don't forget, Vince just said a toast. I would not rather be anywhere in the world with my boys and Ari. Girl show up. He's like, "See you guys. Gotta go.
I'm out."
He's like, "I'm out."
So
and again,
good.
I don't blame him. I don't blame him. But that girl plays a big part in episode 5, which we'll talk about next week or whenever our next show. And let's not forget one thing, though. Again, this is where the Ari character arc, he hasn't become Ari yet. To be a dick he tells E, you think my assistant's hot? I think I might try to bang her.
Yep.
Just to be a dick, he did that.
He knows he
Just to
ain't.
be, he knows he's one, not going to bang her. He has no shot at it, and two, he's doing it just to be an asshole. So again, Ari hasn't really developed fully yet for him to be like the cool. Season 2, Ari's off the chain, but
Hell yes.
but yeah, this one he's still a little trying to get his feet wet or whatever.
Terzio, this is one show that will not remain PG-13. It's gonna get actually pretty well past that.
we might go X after a while. We don't know
yet. Yeah, so that's the way we leave off. Episode 4 is Ari's a dick. Why does he have to go there? And Vince banging the girl that goes to his gym.
Yep. And that girl from the gym plays a huge part in episode 5, which I think is my favorite episode of season 1. Okay. Yes, I believe it is my favorite episode of season 1. So I'm looking forward to that then.
For this one, just because of the whole Ari doesn't wear the pants thing, my quote of this episode is, "There's a cab stand at fucking Yucca." Absolutely. Gets me every damn time.
There's a cab stand on fucking Yucca. Give me the fucking keys.
Give me the fucking keys, Ari.
It was like, all right. Drop me off. Want to drop me off?
And then that icing on the cake there.
Yeah, that was a great one. I have to go with Barry Bonds hearing one. That's going to be my favorite one. And I'm going to give Turtle the MVP for this episode, too, just for those lines he had picking on drama.
Yeah. I had both of those lines, but we have some diversity on the show.
Can't all agree all the time.
Yeah. MVP, I want to say, I think it's Turtle, because he was so involved with, first of all, the girl from Flagstaff, that whole thing. He was just involved. He was getting his digs in. I think he had a well. Is which one was the? Wait, I didn't write this down. Which was the episode with the Bose headphones?
That was the first one, first episode.
Okay, all right. Yeah. So let's go back to that, because that was a pretty funny moment. Is E is trying to assert himself, but jokingly. And Turtle's, outside packing to get out of there.
Don't forget, it was revenge because Drama and Turtle tried to tell E that Kristen was fucking Vince Vaughn.
Yes.
And not Puffy Vince Vaughn. That fucking, he looked like Swingers Vince Vaughn. And he realized right away it was a joke, and he said, "I'm gonna get you both back." So now you can, now you tell the Bose story.
Yeah, he says, did you get the Bose? You didn't tell me to get any Bose. The Bose headsets. Yeah. I told you yesterday, get 4 headsets. Vince doesn't want to listen to you ramble on the flight. He wants to listen to music. And then you were pretty tough on him, and he was like, "Well, I don't want to be in a car with that on the back." And there's a bumper sticker saying, "I love cock."
Yep. And Jose, whatever his name is, sees it right away and starts laughing.
Yeah,
the gardener.
Jose, yes, Raul.
Whatever. Sanchez, whatever his fucking name is.
Yeah. All right. Who's the hot girl in this one? It's the gym girl for me.
Yeah, she is. She gets annoying in the 5th episode, but she's pretty crazily hot. I was gonna give it to Mrs. Ari, but we haven't seen Mrs. Ari's peak yet. But I'm gonna go with Gym Girl also.
Mrs. Ari will have her moments.
Absolutely. Oh, definitely.
Fish out.
She was not shy about being in her underwear on that show, on the show. So God bless her.
Not at all. Like, she was proud of her body, and she used to be in a soap opera. So that's that we'll talk about that down the road. But all right, so look at this. 4 episodes knocked out. It feels like such an accomplishment after we've been talking about it for all this time. All right, let's talk closing remarks here. First 4 episodes of Entourage.
Yeah. I mean, to think that the show was going to get better and better, I didn't think so. I started watching in season 3. I didn't have HBO. Got HBO. It was one of those, see Entourage from the beginning, starting tonight. I said, ooh, let me TiVo. That's how far I went back.
Evo.
I TiVo'd season 1, season 2, and I was there for the premiere of season 3. It was the first time I watched it live.
Wait, so you had an actual that was back in the days with the actual TiVo boxes?
I had the big TiVo
right?
box.
Big
No,
ass
I had
thing.
but mine. I had one of the first ones that was mixed together. Like it wasn't the box, then the TiVo. Mine was a mix of TiVo and the cable, all with
Oh my
DirecTV, all
god,
all
that's
jammed
crazy.
into one. But yeah, I had I TiVo'd the entire. I watched the whole. I was like, I remember watching it and telling the wife, "You got to watch this show. It's fucking great." And I went back and watched the first season again. Watched 1 right through 2 up until the premiere in 3. I got hooked right away. The show, if you don't know by now that you love this show, then you don't like the show.
Right.
That's what I would
Because
tell people.
it's only going to get more intense. They're
And it
going
gets
to dial the
and the
volume up.
show. It's not like I keep hearing this shit about oh well we gotta wait till season 2. No, if you don't like Entourage after these first 4 episodes, or maybe even the first season, then you're never gonna like it. You know, because it gets more sexual, more dirty, more language, all that stuff, and it just gets funnier. And I think it gets better and better.
And it's always an easy watch.
It is.
25, 27 minutes. Always wanted it to be an hour. I
Yeah.
always wanted it to be an hour, but all right.
Well, that's what the movie was. The movie was just like 3 episodes crammed together.
Yeah,
that's all it really was.
And I'll say it now, and I'll say it again when we talk about the movie. If you never saw the show and you went to see the movie and you said the movie sucks, you're an idiot.
Yeah.
You are missing out on everything. Nothing's gonna land right.
Fucking celebrity in that movie. There's a reason for them being there that you have to see on the show.
Yes, you gotta be on the journey. Gotta be on the journey.
You gotta take the journey from the beginning, or you're just missing it.
Yes, I had a friend of mine who, we're always trying to get somebody to watch something that we like, right? Hey, you should watch this. You should see this. You'll love it. I told about Entourage, and so she told me that she started watching. She loved it, and then she was like, "Oh, I'm on the movie now." It was like a week later. I was like, "No way, 0 chance you got through all that." I guess she saw the last thing. She thought, I don't know if she thought that the first season was the last season, but all she watched was season 8. She watched season 8 and then the movie. I was like, you got to go back and watch the other. So she did, and she loved it. But it's not for everybody.
No,
like we said at the top of the show, if you're easily offended, it ain't for you at all.
And women are going to say, all the women are objectified, which I'm not going to lie, but this is a show for men.
Yeah,
women have their shows. This was a show for men living out a male fantasy, basically.
And I know a lot of my wife loves Entourage.
Yeah, mine did too. She liked it. She loved it too.
So, in your life, just try not to take anything too seriously, because it's fun. Makes life more fun.
Entourage is in my rotation of shows I watch every year. Sopranos, Entourage, Sons of Anarchy, Friday Night Lights. Those are the 4 shows that I will watch every year, starting on January 1st with The Sopranos.
Yeah.
And then I'll pick my next show after that. I watch them every year. And then I said, one day I might be bored and be like, shit, I want to watch season 3, episode 2 of Entourage. Let me throw that on, just randomly.
I like it. Well, because when you've watched it as many times as we have, you can pick and choose your favorite. It's like picking your favorite wrestling match or your favorite scene from a movie. You can go right to it.
It's true.
All right, so that was a very fun first episode. Next time, which hopefully we'll get into this more weekly for sure. Once like some of the sports start dying down a little bit, but we're gonna try and get to this weekly. Next episode, hopefully next week, we'll cover the remaining 4 episodes of the first season, and then we'll get into season 2 where it really starts. It starts clicking along and really starts sucking you in.
Yes. Right from the first episode it does. So.
Yep. Oh,
it's good.
Season 2 is good. All right. So we finally did it, Timmy.
Finally.
Through episode 1. And we will see you guys next week. Well, obviously, we'll keep you posted on when it'll be. We'll make announcements and such. But that'll do it for us this time around. Hope maybe we might have some theme music next week. We evolve over time on these type of things.
Yeah,
but until then, peace out, everybody. That's not the closing music.
Wow, I was gonna say, what just happens?
I don't have the closing music here. So we're just we don't have the closing music on the show. It's on another show. So we're gonna just say goodbye, everybody. Peace out.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
That's how we'll cut it.